Assalamualaikum. My name is Noraina Natasha binti Zairun Isan. Today I am going to introduce our chosen vehicle, which is Proton e.MAS 7 PHEV. First, what exactly is Proton e.MAS 7 PHEV? It is a dual power plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. This means it's combined a petrol engine with an electric motor and a large battery. It is designed to perfectly bridge the gap between full electric car and traditional petrol car, making it highly customized for real Malaysian road condition. Drivers get the best of both worlds with this car. For short daily commutes, they can use pure electric mode to save money. For long distance travel, the flexible hybrid modes ensure they never have to worry about running out of battery. Next, let's look at its current status in the market. The e.MAS 7 has quickly become Malaysia's best-selling PHEV, recording 1,755 units sold since it launched. On top of that, it won the prestigious Vehicle of the Year 2026 award. This success is because it is built on a modern platform called the Global Modular Architecture or GMA, which offer amazing fuel efficiency. How do we charge this vehicle? It supports standard CCS2 and Type 2 charging ports, meaning it is easily connects to Malaysia public networks like Jom Charge and Charge EV. For daily use, drivers can simply plug it into a standard AC wall box at home overnight. This ensures a full, low cost and emission free battery every single morning. In short, Proton is making complex green technology affordable for everyday buyers. Now, I will pass the presentation to my teammate to explain the next part.
Hi everyone, my name is Farah Ashazwana binti Muhammad Nizam. Now we are going to talk about stakeholders analysis part of our presentation. We are going to look at how two very important groups feel about electric vehicles in Malaysia. Let us start with our first stakeholder, which is the big boss, government agencies. Now, if we look at it from the government side, why are they pushing so hard for EVs? Well, they want to cut down bad air pollution and make Malaysia a totally green, net zero country by the year 2050. To make this happen, the main ministry in charge like MITI and MGTC are using national car projects to turn Malaysia into a major EV superstar hub in Southeast Asia. But the government knows that EVs cannot just be toys for rich people. They want everyday normal citizens to be able to buy them too. That is why our national car makers step up big time and launch the Proton e.MAS 7. This is Malaysia's very first national electric SUV. It's spacious, it's green, and it's made to be budget-friendly for normal Malaysian families. However, being the government isn't easy. They have some massive headaches right now. The biggest problem is the charger gap. The government wants to build thousands of chargers, but right now, rural kampung areas are lagging far behind big cities like Kuala Lumpur. If you are in Kuala Lumpur, chargers are everywhere, but in small towns, it is a struggle. On top of that, they are stressed about safety rules. Regulatory bodies have to quickly invent new laws to handle high voltage batteries and stop dangerous EV fires in apartment buildings. So, the government is caught in a very tough, very expensive spot. They have to spend huge amounts of money to upgrade the whole country's electricity grid, while still giving out cash incentives to help people buy EVs. Now, let's take a look at our second stakeholder, which is transport operators. These are companies that move goods and people every day, like the delivery giant DHL Express Malaysia, or e-hailing apps we use all the time like Grab. For these companies, Their view on EVs is driven by two simple things: daily business and money. Let's look at the happy side first. From a business view, operators see a golden chance to save a mountain of cash. EVs don't use petrol or diesel, and they don't need expensive engine oil changes. A brilliant real-world example is DHL Express Malaysia. They added electric vans to their fleet and successfully slashed their total fuel cost by a mind-blowing 17%. That is a massive win for their wallets, and it makes them look fantastic to the public. Okay, so now, how does this link to our topic? For passenger transport, big and comfortable models like the Proton e.MAS 7 are super attractive to premium e-hailing operators like Grab drivers. These drivers can give passengers a quiet, smooth, zero-emission ride while keeping their own daily driving costs incredibly low. But wait, transport operators have big fears too. First, buying a brand new fleet of electric trucks or van is super expensive upfront. Second, they absolutely hate vehicle downtime. If a normal petrol truck runs dry, you fill it up at a gas station in 5 minutes and drive away, right? But an electric van, it can take several hours to fully charge. Operators are terrified that their drivers will get stuck waiting at a charger, which means delay, package, broken schedules, and angry customers. Because Malaysia still lacks high-speed fast chargers outside big cities and on long interstate highways, transport operators see EVs as a big financial risk for now. To wrap it all up, both the government and transport operators want EVs to win, but they are both stuck waiting for more chargers on the road. Thank you very much, and I will now pass the floor to my next teammate.
So hi guys, my name is Alifat Rana. Today I'm going to explain about stakeholder analysis for passengers and consumers. So consumer and passengers are the main users of the Proton e.MAS 7 PHEV. Their purchasing decision influence the demand for plug-in hybrid vehicles in Malaysia. They also provide feedback on the vehicle performance, safety, fuel efficiency, charging experience, and also after-sales service, helping Proton improve its product. Consumers expect the vehicle to be affordable, reliable, safe, and also cost-efficient for daily use. They also appreciate the combination of electric and petrol power, which reduce fuel cost and range anxiety. And last but not least, for passenger consumer, they are still concerned about the purchase price, battery lifespan, maintenance costs, and the availability of charging stations. Next, we move on to environmental groups. Environmental groups encourage the use of cleaner transportation to reduce greenhouse gas emission and improve air quality. They also support the Proton e.MAS 7 PHEV because it's produced lower carbon emission and use less fuel than conventional petrol vehicle. They view PHEVs as an important transition towards fully electric vehicle while charging. They also advocate for renewable energy, better cycling, and wider EV adoption to achieve long-term environment sustainability. Last but not least is community organization. They promote awareness of sustainable transportation through campaign, roadshow, and also educational programs. They work with the government, educational institutions, and companies such as Proton to encourage the adoption of cleaner vehicles. They also believe the Proton e.MAS 7 PHEV help reduce fuel consumption and support Malaysian transition to greener transportation. They also encourage improvement in public charging infrastructure and consumer education to make sustainable transportation more accessible. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Now, I will explain the stakeholder analysis of the Proton e.MAS 7 and how this electric vehicle affect different groups in society. First, let's look at government agencies. The Proton e.MAS 7 supports Malaysia's goals under the National Energy Transition Roadmap (NETR) and the New Industrial Master Plan (NIMP 2030). By encouraging more people to switch to electric vehicles, it helps reduce carbon emissions and support sustainable transportation. Since Proton is a national automotive brand, the local assembly of the e.MAS 7 also contributes to the growth of Malaysia's automotive industry.
However, there are some challenges. The increasing number of EVs will require the government to invest in more charging stations and upgrade the national power grid. In addition, as EV adoption increases, the government may collect less revenue from fuel taxes and may need to introduce new taxation policies in the future. Next, let's discuss transport operators such as ride-hailing services and logistic company. The Proton e.MAS 7 can help operators reduce fuel and maintenance costs because electric vehicles have fewer moving parts and require less servicing. This can improve long-term operational efficiency. The 8-year battery warranty also provides additional confidence for businesses. On the other hand, transport operators may face higher initial costs when purchasing EV fleets. Charging also takes longer than refueling conventional vehicles, which may reduce the amount of time vehicles can be used for business operations. Moving on to passengers and consumers. One of the biggest advantages of the Proton e.MAS 7 is that it offers advanced technology at a more affordable price. Features such as ADAS, Flying Auto Operating System, and vehicle-to-load technology provide a safer and more comfortable driving experience. Consumers can also benefit from lower running costs compared to petrol-powered vehicles. However, some concerns still exist. Charging infrastructure is not equally available across all areas, especially outside major cities. This may lead to range anxiety, where drivers worry about running out of battery during long journeys. In addition, the future resale value of EVs remain uncertain. Now, let's look at environmental groups. Environmental organizations generally support the Proton e.MAS 7 because it helps produce air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Since the vehicles produce no tailpipe emissions, it contributes to cleaner air and support Malaysia's sustainability goals. Nevertheless, environmental groups also point out some concerns. Malaysia still relies partly on fossil fuels to generate electricity, meaning that EV charging may still indirectly produce carbon emissions. There are also concerns about battery disposal and recycling, which require proper management to avoid environmental issues in the future. Finally, we have community organizations. The production of the Proton e.MAS 7 creates job opportunities in manufacturing, engineering, and technical services. This supports local economic growth and helps develop skilled workers. In addition, the vehicle-to-load or V2L feature can provide electricity during emergencies, making it useful for communities during power outages or natural disasters. However, not all communities can benefit equally. Charging stations are mainly concentrated in urban areas, making EV adoption more difficult for rural communities. This may create a green divide where the benefits of electric vehicles are enjoyed mainly by people living in more developed areas.
Hi, so my name is Siti Nur Anissa binti Salim. Now, let's move on to the synthesis, the ideal part, which is include 3 main points. For the first one is challenges. One of the main challenges in the use of electric vehicles in Malaysia is that their prices are still quite high compared to regular vehicles that use petrol or diesel. The price of batteries and a majority of EV models that are still being imported remain too pricey for some users, especially the middle class. In addition, the limited charging infrastructure also one of the challenges as they are more readily available in urban areas than rural areas. It can be challenging for consumers with extensive travel needs or in communities with less charging infrastructure. Besides, charging time and a travel range which take longer to charge and have a more limited travel range which can raise concerns about running out of battery. Finally, the lack of workforce with specialized skills and expertise in the EV field. As the industry is still in the infancy, the number of technicians trained to carry out maintenance, repair, and diagnostics of EV system is still limited. This can lead to consumers having problems accessing a high-quality repair service, particularly in rural areas. Next point is it can lead to opportunity spike, which is can boost EV investment and industry. These include higher foreign investment in the green automotive sector and establishment of EV component assembly and production facility in the country. Next, by expanding the charging infrastructure, more charging stations will be available across Malaysia, especially on highway and in public places. This allows EV users to charge their vehicles more conveniently and reduces range anxiety, which is the fear of running out of battery. Last but not least, it can drive technological innovation in more efficient, fast charging and durable battery technology, besides boost the environment of smart and high-tech vehicle system. Lastly, it also opens a wider range of employment opportunities in the areas of engineering, battery technology, maintenance of vehicles and the development of charging infrastructure. So, for the proposed solution part, there are a number of measures that should be taken by multiple players for better implementation of the development of electric vehicles. The government can offer further incentive to EV including tax exemptions, subsidies purchase costs, and provide special rebates to lower the cost of EV. Furthermore, it is necessary to enhance the cooperation with the private sector to increase the number of charging stations in both urban and rural areas as well as on main highways for long distance trips. To address battery technology, research and development must be increased to develop batteries which are more durable, rapid charging and also lower in cost. Lastly, this solution focuses on two areas. First, providing technical training to develop skilled workers who can build and maintain EVs. Second, increasing public awareness through campaigns and education so people understand the benefit of electric vehicles. This will encourage more Malaysians to adopt EVs and support the country's green transportation goal.
Conclude our presentation, let's look at overall conclusion for the Proton e.MAS 7 PHEV. First, this vehicle brings together the absolute best features of petrol engines and electric power because it is built on the modern GMA platform with advanced e.MAS technology. It is perfectly adapted for Malaysian road and is very easy to charge at home or outside. Next, let's see how different stakeholders views this green transition. First, the government fully supports it to reduce carbon emission, especially by expanding charges to rural areas. Second, transport companies love the fuel saving but are still worried about high vehicle prices and long charging times. Finally, consumer and environmental groups simply want affordable, safe cars that have lower pollution. Of course, we still face real challenge today, such as high vehicle costs, long charging times, and a lack of rural charging infrastructure. However, these challenges open up massive opportunity for Malaysia to attract new green investment, create high-tech engineering jobs, and drive local business growth. In conclusion, the future of green transport is bright. To ensure long-term success, the government and the private sector must work together closely. By taking the right action, we can build strong consumer confidence and successfully move Malaysia towards a cleaner, more sustainable future. Thank you so much. That's it from our group.